Welcome to the next review or the next show and tell for Excel's array function. In this one, we're going to be using user-built arrays, or you could call them homemade array formulas. So we are going to be multiplying units sold by unit price to get the total price or revenue per item. And then we're going to do a little bit more with that. But before we start, I want to introduce Excel's array function called the transpose function. Transpose takes data that exists in a column and puts it in a row, and takes data in a row and puts it in a column. Here, I'm going to take the product name and all of the data you see and put them into rows. I'm going to transpose them and put them into rows. To do that in Excel, first we need to know how many rows and columns are needed. So I've got 3 columns and 9 rows in my data. When I transpose it, I'm going to have 9 columns and 3 rows. So let's go and do that. If you want to build an array function, first you have to mark the location of the function. So 1, 2, 3 columns, now 3 rows. Now I need 9. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Notice, important detail, that the active cell is cell F1. When you're building an array formula, you go into the address bar and type the array, you type the formula in while your destination or target cells are still highlighted or marked. So I'm going to type equals transpose, open bracket, select the array to transpose, close my bracket, and this is important when you're working with arrays. You don't press enter. You need to tell Excel to expect an array and to act accordingly. So you hold Shift, Control, and then press enter. And what do you know? As if by magic, the data is transposed. Of course, when you're transposing data, the same rules apply as when you're doing a copy and paste. The data you are transposing has to exist. You can't delete the data. It's not a cut and transpose kind of scenario. But this is what you get, and I can then go back and format this one as money. And that's really all there is to the transpose function. Now let's do something a little bit more interesting. I'm going to delete this and use array functions to find revenue for each item. To do array calculations, I want to multiply units sold by unit price. All the cells in the same location, I want to multiply one with the other. So I'm going to say equals, select the first array. Actually, this is what I'm saying. I want to do it for all of the values at the same time. So I'm going to do equals this array here multiplied by these arrays here. And I'm just going to press enter. It's going to multiply B2 by C2, B3 by C3, and put all the answers down here. So hold Shift Control, press enter, and I have my revenue. Format that as currency. Now I know, I hear you asking me, why didn't I just do a simple multiplication? And you can. Of course you can do that. But Excel allows you to see Excel allows you to do all of the formulas in one go. So they are equivalent, but with arrays, you only need to do one formula and then put it all the way down. Now, if I do equals sum, I can then add the end result together. And I could have done this in one go with the array formula. I could have just said, in this cell, I'm going to type equals sum, open bracket, take all of these values, multiply it by all of these values. So the way the array function works, or most formulas in Excel, the inner equations or formulas or functions get resolved first. So Excel is going to do the array multiplication, multiply one array by another, get all the various values like we did manually, and then sum all of those values after it got it. So instead of doing this multiple things, I can just hold Shift, Control, and Enter, and I get the same answer as before. Of course, in Excel, you could have just used the sum product function, right? This is probably more efficient if you don't have too many to calculate. Then you can, of course, use Excel's sum product. Same difference.